this satsang today. So usually, but every week, I'll be giving satsang every Wednesday to whoever would show up. Now the thing about this is, to find a real seeker, you have to go where the real seekers are. And I know that on earth there are real seekers, but some of them are scared to come here. They're afraid of all people misjudging them and all this. So it's a sad situation. So I know that by putting these videos on here, I reach some people. So I'm gonna give a talk every week, no matter how wisdom flows. Naturally, wisdom flows in a way that's natural. That wisdom flows and it moves as it is. But then you got these people nowadays who are basically going like this, right at your toes, like that, about to bite your toe. They're going like this. They're going like that, and it feels natural just to let that animal stay. Say it's a fox. You got a fucking fox at your foot, and he's going like this. He's about to bite. The fox is about to bite your foot, like that. And if it looks like it's gonna bite it, it's acting like it's gonna bite it, you think it's gonna bite it, it's probably, and it will bite you. That's the lesson. It is gonna bite you. So sometimes, no matter how wise you are, no matter how fucking flow and guru faggot you are, you always gotta sometimes move unnaturally. And unnatural movement is wiser in that case than moving naturally or doing the right thing per se. And it's pretty sad. But that's just the way it is. So I'm gonna give it, since I can now YouTube is gonna let me put this stuff up on the YouTube, and it's okay. And I know that these somehow mystically one day everything should arrange. Now you guys can go on here and talk about all the internet's gonna be deleted. Then this is for this age at least, or the next age to come, because there's no old man. What I say about old man is, if I'm looking for an old man, that means he is an old man. That means I could walk up to that old man and know he's there on earth, and get the lesson. To walk up to the oldest, wisest being of earth and get the lesson. But it seems like on this earth that it doesn't exist anymore, because Osho was killed in prison. He was poisoned in prison. So if anyone says, "Oh, Osho's not a good guy, he went to prison," they poisoned him in prison, and he only went there because of bad immigration. Now, all these spiritual and the people that I've gotten at my talks, at first they seem very iffy type of people. So at first I just played it safe, but now I just give a whole bunch of information, but it seems very iffy. You see, a true seeker is there to let go. A true seeker, when I say true seeker, I'm talking bodhidarma true seeker. I'm talking about Osho Sannyasin's true seeker. You got all these gurus and stuff in India. You got all these gurus coming to the West. But let me tell you, none of them are true. 99 point whatever, probably 99.01568792345% of those masters and spiritual gurus. Are not true. What it means that you're a master, a spiritual guru, that means the universe. That means you represent the whole universe. Not this earth. That means this whole universe. A spiritual master, a spiritual guru means you represent the whole universe, the entirety of it. I mean, the black vastness of it. That's why every spiritual guru, the root of it comes from this idea. The idea that your mind can be silenced in meditation. This idea that first you have to think about it, what the guru, the spiritual master says. And then second, you got to act upon it and start to meditate. Now, the spiritual guru and the master is there to guide you throughout that process, throughout that whole process, because he knows what's going to happen to your body, what's going to be happening to your mind, what kind of processes you're going to be going through. He knows this type of thing, and he can tell you about this type of thing. Now, it takes the true seeker to notice this type of thing and to actually care about this type of thing, because the idea that the caring about that type of thing outweighs the actual type of thing that you can put as that type of thing for your mind's perception. But what you know deep down in your soul and what you realize and relearn every single life is what I'm trying to say, and this is what I'm saying, is that when you die, or before you die, you come to this realization. Now, it takes a wise, smart person in this life to get to this realization now. Now, are you an animal or are you a human being? If you can be both. You can be an animal and represent this earth, and you can be your being, which represents, if it's your path, then you represent the whole universe. You stand as almost like a bardo itself, a walking bardo. If you know what the bardo is, the bardo the bardo is the plane between these two lives, between life and death. So the only way to get to that bardo is through this physical body. You can call it astral projection, but it's really not. Astral projection is not what I'm trying to do. It's beyond astral projection. But beyond astral projection is to move physically in this life. This life is more dense and more pulsating. Your body itself, for it to be physical and that you can touch things like that, and that you can feel the fields and planes of the dynamic expression of that almost weighs the same as when you're in a astral plane and you can do all these things. So a real spiritual guru or a real spiritual master, his less, well, why say master in the West when you had white people take the word master from the East and they brought it over to the West, and they used that, and they used that to say to these black slaves, you black slaves call me master or we'll whip you. Now let me tell you, you probably know what I'm going to say. The irony of it is the color black is the color of a master, the color of a real spiritual guru. That means master of the universe, spiritual guru of this universe. That means you could, when you become enlightened, if that's your path for you, that you are the spiritual guru and guide of the universe. And now what's the spiritual guru's message? It's nothing. It's the color blackness, the vastness. It's to show the... Now everyone's talking about duplicity, all this crap. See, none of them are real gurus. All this non-duality, none of them are real gurus. Why? Because they're talking to a bunch of people who don't give a crap, really. Now, I don't care what all these people say. I don't care what all these people feel. I care about the real seekers that are out there. And I feel like if one day my lesson's understood by everyone, then it never existed. It only, what exists is this nothingness within you. Because the furthest thing from your sight is what's closest to you. And now what's you is your brain. And right in the middle of your brain is what? DMT. Right in the middle, in the center of your brain is that DMT. You have drugs in you. You have hallucinogenic drugs in you. You don't need to smoke drugs to get drugs. You have the potential to go on mystical adventures, real life movies, this type of stuff, without the use of the plants. The use of the plants is to give you a glimpse of what's possible. Now, to meditate and get to these higher vibrational experiences, is to literally magnify the use of any of these drugs that you can use. But the difference is they have no side effects. So it's to magnify. Really magnify. Times 9999999. No matter how many drugs you take in the world, if you're beside an enlightened guy, he's more higher than you are. That's why they call it the Most High. Because the tree is trying to go high. So you gotta lift your vibrations high. No, a drug doesn't lift your vibrations high. A drug just changes the chemical balances that are already within you. Deep within you, the DMT within you does not even need those chemical imbalancing. It just uses mystical energy, energy that you can't even see. Your energy builds up from your core, goes to the DMT, then you start seeing mystical things happen that can't happen on drugs. So it's like its own drug, a different drug, if you want to see it that way. It's like its own drug. Now I don't even know why I feel compelled to do this. But you can't go into another enlightened being's consciousness and say don't do that. I mean, you can, and of course it's wise, but it's not what the highest expression of its own expression, as its expression infinite in its expression expresses itself as its expression in this expression against your expression, unexpressing its expression, okay? A real master and a real spiritual guru doesn't think and say this and that, or isn't motivated by other minds, other people's minds, isn't motivated by the universal consciousness of other people's minds. So when you meditate and whatever, you can literally, this is not drugs, by the way, this is real superpowers, this is real stuff that happens. I see people walking around and using like sounds as their superpowers. Like I'm speaking with this rock on this thing. You guys are fucking idiots, because subconsciously, as a mind, you do that already. So when you're consciously doing that type of thing and you're trying to make this speak, you're going on a lower level than your actual voice, and you're wasting this energy here for the expression of your real voice, which is why you have a voice. It's why you can speak with your voice. It's why you can pee in the toilet, for Christ's sakes. Why do you need to do that? I'm gonna lower this way you can see my hands a little bit. They're just hands. This stuff happens naturally. You're supposed to be living in the forest now. I guarantee you, go live into the forest. Live there for a whole day. And then come out of it and see if you want to do that stuff. This is the lesson that my master gave me. This is the lesson that I'm giving you. You can call it spiritual guide. Like, it's not like, oh, I'm your master, you sit down, you bow down. That's just something that was created by a few masters in India. It's like what Jesus did. With all these, now they got all these ceremonies and all this stuff. So that type of thing, it's like, it's not like, that type of stuff isn't the real teachings, but they're just something that their disciples did and carried on as like, oh, tradition. Because that's all humans know, that tradition. Like, I'm not gonna do this, but I can be traditional. And then you look at Japan. They used to stab themselves in the stomach. No one in Japan is gonna do that anymore. So there's no tradition there. So that's why I say that's a good tradition. Any good tradition doesn't last as a tradition. So, to live in this life, you have to go to your job. To live in this life, you gotta... That's why it's called lie, by the way. To live in this life, you gotta go to your job. So what I represent, you gotta go to your job. Even if you own your own business. Even thought of your work progressing, or the thought of your employees progressing, or the thought making more money, or the thought of the enjoyment of making that money is work. When you come back from your work is the time that I say you should meditate for at least 1 hour. Or if you wake up, then before you go to work, meditate for at least 1 hour. Don't sit down on the floor. It's uncomfortable. If you're from the West, you sit in a chair. Sit your ass on a damn chair. Outside. If it's available to you. With the trees, with the birds, with the nature. If that's not available to you, then sit in a quiet room with the lights off. Put a blanket over your window, make the room pitch black, and meditate there for an hour a day when you come back from work or whatever. And then go watch a movie. You understand what I'm saying? When you get home from work, have a coffee, eat like a fruit. And then do that. The fruit's going to connect you to the trees. The trees are going to connect you to your breath, your life source. And then the oxygen is going to be clean. If you don't work outside all day, you're breathing in air that came in from the air conditioner. So breathe in some clean, fresh air. Or light some incense. Almost as if to say that to travel. Travel. I'm saying travel, don't be stuck. So meditation is traveling. You'll gain experience. It's something that's more to life than just what life is. You understand? It's something like having something that's more than there. If you can feel, and I know everyone can, then it's there for you. Something's there for you. So that means I'm speaking to someone for some reason, for something. This is not a different planet. This is this planet. And I know there's someone. Now, when I say this and this someone, it could get confusing. If you can feel, then something's attracted to you. Something's gonna bring you towards that. Now, anyone can sense when someone feels something. I can sense if someone's listening to something or if someone's feels. Because if someone feels, then it means I can say more. I could say literally war to someone's face, and they would understand it. Now, if it's somebody else, I would say something else. But in order for it to seem like somebody in some form in front of me, then I gotta feel something. This might get confusing now with this one person I'm saying and this feeling. When I'm saying if you can feel, then you know that this life is not all that it's meant out to be as for how we are supposed to live naturally. We're supposed to be able to do what we want to do. We're supposed to progress through society to make our own society where we can do what we want to do safely. So if you want to smoke weed, there should be a place where you could go and just live off smoking weed. Like a weed type of society. I mean, I'm not talking Amsterdam. I'm talking a real weed society, like people who actually know the mystical healing properties of weed and have gone through that. Because I remember when I didn't have anything and I was, I could have just killed, but weed provided life for me. Really, weed was light for me. Weed gave me light. So now, if you could, that's what I'm saying is, if you could feel in this life, then you know that people got to work, and the people from the very beginning were brainwashed to move in a certain direction. Not like you have a choice. At any point in time, you can say, I don't want to be brainwashed. That's why people don't care if you're brainwashed or not. You're all brainwashed anyways. But at any point in time, you can say to yourself, I will step out of this brainwashed. But you don't want to say that you're brainwashed. No one wants to be brainwashed. So if you can feel, then you know that there are subtle feelings throughout life, and there's different expressions of that life, but everyone has to work, and it's painful, and if you don't want to work, then you're stuck working anyways. And what I'm here to provide is there is something more than just working and just having sex and watching videos with your spouse, drinking with your friends, and all this stuff. All this stuff mumbled together in a mumbo jumbo is garbage compared to what meditation will get for you, will do for you. I don't really like any of this stuff. The only real that I would say is a master on the internet that I've found so far is Zen Master Osho, the most knowledged Zen master who knows everything, but just doesn't tell you everything because you don't ask him those questions. And you got Satsang Master Mooji and Papaji, who basically, when you sit in front of them, they tell you kill yourself. No matter what you ask them, they're gonna tell you kill yourself. Just kill yourself right now, idiot. That's what they're saying. Like, you get it, then why are you here? Because there's something in you that pulls you here. You need to know more. You need to know more information. Something that pulls you here. The peak of that lesson is to kill yourself. And then there's who else is there? And then that's pretty much it. Everyone else I don't like. I don't support them. Why? Because they're just giving you all this stuff, telling you all this stuff to make a living as a guru. And then someone like me who randomly pauses, who insults you, who looks you right in your eyes for a long time, I have no chance. I'm provided with like almost no chance. And I'm the real spiritual guru. But I don't call myself a guru, really. I'm a spiritual guide. I'm the type of guy that's going to tell you to look at the peak of the experience, not to ignore it at all. That you gotta learn it. You have to live this whole life just to get back to an old man and at your last dying breaths. Ask any old man who's dying. He's thinking about dying more than he's probably thinking about his life and what he's lived. At some point in that time, he's thinking about his life and his memories. Look into a scrapbook of his memories. You can't keep thinking about all his memories. They're not all great. And when you're dying, you don't want to be thinking about bad memories. Okay? You want to be thinking your life is good. That's why people take so much pictures and put it on Facebook, making themselves happy. Making themselves look happy. So that when they look back, when they're dying, in their memory, they can say to themselves, I had a good life. But my teaching is always, why not just have a good life? Why do you got to take all these pictures? Now, I guarantee you'll have a good life if you meditate. And if you do it in secret. Don't ever, look, through this path, even if you get into nirvana, at the beginning, don't tell anyone about it. Don't tell anyone about it. Meditate in secret. That means when you're moving your feet across the ground, is that you're aware of what's being said. You're not the one saying it. This is my path, the path of meditation, the path of enlightenment. Okay? When you do something and you make a sound, for instance, you're scruffling, you're aware that there's a sound, but you don't judge it. The same way Jesus says you don't judge your neighbor. Love thy neighbor. That means don't judge. Love means don't judge. Love means everything that you see is pretty much the same. That means you can wear any color and be the same, feel the same, be the same way when you're around no one. But then once you're around people, then their consciousness rapes yours. Because as a collective whole, their mind rapes yours. But their mind can't rape your soul. Their mind can hurt your soul. Because they're consciously trying to hurt you all the time. Which is what happened to me. Everyone's around me trying to hurt me with their conscious. And you feel it and you get hurt if everyone's consciously trying to hurt you. But that's if you tell people. That's why I'm saying don't tell anyone you're becoming enlightened. Don't tell anyone you're meditating. Don't tell anyone. Don't tell your best friend. They will not understand. They will not understand. If you understand what it is, don't tell anyone. This is my teaching. This is the universe's teaching too. Blackness. That means don't tell anyone. Blackness. It means secrets. The truth is in secrets. You have to go through in this life. And the truth is a secret. It's not blunt, right in your face. Even if you get it, you don't get it. It's still a secret. So, what a master is doing is he's saying that no matter what you're saying, it's still secret because you haven't experienced it. But I'm here for you. Because when you experience it, I'll still be here for you. On this chair. For you to guide you. Even if you don't ask me the question, I can feel you there. On this earth, if you're somewhere else on this earth, I can feel you there. And I can guide you from here. Don't tell anyone. So, get with nature. You go through the whole experience of winter if you live in a cold climate so that you can appreciate the smells of spring. Teaches you to be comfortable. Springtime teaches you to be comfortable with your sexuality. All the pink and purple colors and all of the, you would say, girly smells. Love those smells. Smell them, with them, love them. Love the colors of spring. Love spring. Love and appreciate spring. And then feel summer and feel like you're in a hot climate and feel what the hot climate is. Get used to the hot climate. Be comfortable wearing the right layers in this climate. That means going out in the sun. with the tank top, shorts, and flip-flops, and a hat, if you want one. And then feel the sun's rays and energies soak into your skin and give you life. God spoke and there was light. This is elementary. This is elementary. The real elementary is when you go on this path. All the stuff you learn in school is garbage. What I'm teaching you outweighs everything in school. What I'm teaching you will give you the confidence that you could possibly go up to any teacher and say, screw all the stuff you're saying. And have something to back it up. A backbone. Light shoots up your backbone to your DMT. And then the autumn is the expression, you have to appreciate this shit. That means you have to actually experience the summer fully. Get the fuck out of your house. Get the fuck away from that damn television and go outside. Because it's going to be only here for 3 months and you got to go through 5 months of cold winter. Come on. This is elementary. Go swimming, go to the beach, go to the forest, go for a walk. This is simple. Walk your dog. Go walk outside with your girlfriend. Go smoke a cigarette beside a tree, at least. Spend time with nature. We are here. Hello? Is anybody there? We are here. You guys want to do the computer? You want to have sex in the bedroom? You want to watch television? Inside the house. Then at least put a bunch of plants in your house, please. God damn. Put a whole bunch of plants in your house. But make it look natural for your own setting. But let me advise you that the nature does not look natural. So we got a confused view of what natural is. You say this house doesn't look natural. And then you think of the word weirdo. You know what? The whole forest is a weirdo because the forest is not natural that way. It's not a set, defined place. It's all in random. That's what gives it beauty. That's what gives the universe beauty, is randomness, weirdness. That's why you watch the movies. It's weird, it's random, it's beautiful. But it's everything you see on TV is not random. It's not beautiful because all that stuff unconsciously and subconsciously was made for consumerism and marketing, so that you get swayed one way. It rapes you to move one way. Now, like I'm not gonna, as a master, I'm not gonna forcibly rape you into one direction. and tell you as it is. You're gonna take it, you're gonna get gone, or and then you're coming back, or you're gonna get gone for good. The TV is gonna force you into some way, and you're gonna go that way. Because that way was made for someone just like you. And then when you were born, God came up to your ear and whispered, "You're special." Go get, stop. My advice is, for a week, stop eating meat. Meditate for an hour a day. Get yourself some crystals, put them in the sun, and then hold that crystal after it's soaked in the sun in your hand and meditate with the crystals or the gemstones. That's it. For today, that's my lesson for you. All the color means artwork. It prepares you for the winter, because in the winter you have to provide yourself with something other than what's there, which is a television. Who made the television? Actually, for me, it's like, get a bunch of plants, put them in your house, light incense that smell like a campfire, and the campfire will help you get through your winter. If you live in a cold winter, the smells of the campfire is going to help you get through the winter very well. It helps. It helps. You're supposed to be around the fire all the time. Now, if you think you're supposed to be eating meat all the time, you're confused. You're supposed to migrate. Maybe in a whole bunch of lives, you've lived in the hot sun and you want to, so for this life, for some reason you want to experience, for some reason in this life you want to experience the cold. Your body wants to feel the cold. I think the best way to get through that cold is the fire. The smell of a fire. And the smell of a fire is predominant through all of your past lives. It's a memory that stands predominant in throughout all of your past lives. The smell of fire. The smell of the smoke from the wood. So it brings those energies together. The energies that say, we're surviving, we're getting through this, and we're eating meat. But I bet you the first people who had meat, they put their fruits on the meat and tasted it and said it's better. They took their vegetables, put it on the meat, and said it tastes better, it tastes different, it tastes new. That's how the first cooking was vegetarian. Because you didn't know that. Of course you did. In order to eat grains, you have to use fire. To cook those grains. I'm down, Earth. At some point in time, all these people started throwing everything on the fire. They started throwing the meat on the fire. They started throwing the leaves on the fire. They started burning down the forest. They put the fire to the tree, and then they lit the whole forest on fire. The beginning of meat, the beginning of it. You just burned down this whole forest. If you wonder why it tastes good, you just burned down that whole forest. But here, it tastes good. Now, usually in this life, what tastes good and what looks good is usually what's not in your potentiality for your health and for your well-being. Now, when your well-being is governed by your mind, and everyone's transitionally conditioned to say fuck this shit. Everyone's conditioned to say I don't care. Because imagine I gave this whole lecture and then you came up to me and said I don't care. You nullify everything. So what you're doing is taking everything in front of you and just saying I don't care. So that you'll do whatever you want. So that consumerism gets you to go here, 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 here. Just do whatever you want. Every name of every product sways you into a different direction. Makes you think something unconsciously. Rapes you. All these names on these products rape you. They do rape you in your subconscious. You see something, you think this consciously. It's what your mind works like this. It has like 90 different things, and it has one set part of it that you say, this is me, this is me, this is me. And all this stuff, you just let it go, because I don't care. So all this stuff is just moving all around it. This stuff, who is that? What's that? Whose is that? Oh, it's this mystical, it's God, you just listen. I don't care. That's what it is. It's I don't care. All that stuff that's going around this. This is me. This is who I am. You can't tell me on nothing. This is who I am. And then all this stuff floating around it and you're saying, I don't care. All that stuff is something. Someone who's smart, who cares about all that other stuff too. Well, they're at least aware of that other stuff. So then you're aware of marketing. You see something and it sways you to something else. And then even different brands cross-brand between each other or whatsoever. Whatever you can think of is what they're doing so that you can buy everything and just say, I don't care. And you're alive and they're providing for you, so why should I care too? Because I'm not a mind to care in that way. No matter what's put in front of you, all that other stuff is moving around. And that other stuff is you, as the mind, as well. You think you're just this, but you're all this. That's all you. That's not God. Trust me, that's not God. It might be connected like 5%, 15% to God, but that's not God. That's not holy. The only thing that I see holy about the mind is when you can become connected to your friend. But if you say this is my friend, I feel connected to him, that means I love him, so I can say whatever I want to him because I deserve it, because I love that person so much that I deserve to just do whatever I want to that person because I love that person. and I don't care. People can become connected through thoughts because your thoughts move in a universal consciousness. Your thoughts go up into the sky and intermingle with everything. There's a universal consciousness, which is your subconscious, your unconscious, and your collective conscious. All of those intermingling up in the sky. Now, I think your conscious, for the collective conscious that's there, usually what matters is your conscious thoughts, your conscious thinking, because everything, your unconscious, your subconscious expresses itself through periods of the nighttime when everyone's asleep. That's when it's most potent. But for the most part, throughout most of your day, 14 hours of the day, then it's the conscious mind, the mind that's saying, this is me, I care, this is me, well, I don't care. All that other stuff is you as well. Like, this stuff is not mystical at all to me. But this stuff is more mystical than a television. This stuff is more mystical than what you can think consciously. So meditation is at least looking all that stuff. Not ignoring yourself. Yourself is all that stuff as well. There's different planes of yourself. The lowest plane is your mind and your thoughts. It's simple. You're in this physical life, and what's something higher than this life? Spiritual. So to get spiritual, you gotta get something high. Get higher. You can't just say, I do these things so I'm spiritual. Spiritual means you're becoming higher. Like a tree goes higher. Tree's more spiritual than you are. They're laughing in your face and you're cutting them down. A master is someone who does something mystical. It takes you away from this usual life, this usual self. Now, if you're thinking master, so this guy rules over me, and you're still thinking so low. There's people there to help you. God will provide someone there to help you. Now, the less people that are becoming enlightened, that means we're not doing our job. We're not providing for these people enough. We're not available enough. We're not saying the right thing. We're not being mystical. Already, I've inspired maybe more than all of those people combined. It doesn't matter to me. I still say we're not doing our job. Your job is to make someone think. That means when they're in front of you, you don't always move in a way that's safe, that the way that we are conditioned to. It's getting to a point where you can say what you want to say. But the way I see it is, I'm just going to say what I want to say. I'm not going to try to build a mass following of people or whatever, because there's only a few true seekers. And a lot of the stuff that you see is that these so-called gurus and so-called masters unconsciously acted upon the media and marketing as marketing and media itself. It disguised itself so that someone like me can just pop up one day and say, yo, those guys suck. Too much knowledge for the brain is not a true seeker. A true seeker, once he knows the truth, he does the truth. There's no in between. There's no need for it. There's no use for it. A true seeker finds out the truth and then does the truth. In due time, of course. So that means when you know that you can't control your mind, you know that your mind's a low expression, that means you act upon it. That means you're a true seeker. Because what you're seeking is for what you can't find. What you can't find is nothing. You are going to say nothing is all around you. You can only experience nothing. You can't say this is nothing and for it to be nothing, because you labeled it as something and your consciousness is affecting that nothing that you perceive as nothing. To experience nothing means to paradoxically be conscious as nothing of nothing. Do you understand? There's a common thread through all these gurus and all these people, and I just negate everything that they say. And I just keep this common thread, and then I just I use that thread. So people say, oh, I get it already, it's to become with nature, so I don't have to come back again. But that's the common thread. Everyone has a common understanding of it. Now, if you understand this thread, what I'm saying is, buddy, stop ignoring the thread. Then you, as your conditioned mind, comes says, "I don't care," and never see it again. So we as gurus or masters, we're not doing our job right. If someone leaves your whatever just saying, "Oh, I disagree," and you didn't do your job right, they should be leaving that place at least saying like, "That guy is stupid." That means being honest, because being spiritual and being a truth seeker means being honest, because the most honest you can get is to look at religion and spirituality in terms of knowing what you know, what you can know, and what you do know, and only sticking to that because it's something you know, not something you believe. Because they want you to be alive, so you believe, because you're connected with the word believe, because at the beginning of your life you don't know, and you can't say no to your parents, and at the beginning of your life you are nobody, so you get disconnected with your body. You think you're not your body, which is more wise than your mind. Your body is ancient. Your mind is only living for 100 years. The body is ancient. The body survives through everyone. It's the same body in everyone. They all function the same. Now your mind's connected to your body. And at the beginning you think you're nobody. And then you grow up slowly and they put all this makeup on your face and say, "That's you now. Now you get it. Now you want the wisdom. Now that's you." And then you get connected with this pretty face that is not even your face. Yeah, that's me. You're nobody. Oh, this is me. Now I'm the body. Now I'm only the face. Now I'm sexuality and I feel the body and I'm connected with the body. All I care about is the body and I'm this body. If it was up to me, I would just give people a white shirt their whole life. Just wear white. Because white has all the properties of every color. You need to experience everything. If you just say, "This is me." No, it's not. You're a flux. You're changing all the time. And you can set a mood for memories as experience of those memories as a mood for this whole life. But that's the mood. That's not you. Because this is the mood that you're setting for this memory, but that's not you. But yes, it is. I'm me. I don't care. And then you walk away forever. See, look who am I? I'm a real person of the woods, of the forest, talking to you. That's all I am, but I'm a real person of that. And a real person of the earth, and a real person of nature is your spiritual guide. And the internet and the computer, I don't support so much because it's not the real thing. The real thing looks a lot different. It feels a lot different. It does something different. I couldn't get away with that in real life, probably. But I'll do that in real life. Don't get confused. In order not to be confused, you have to let go of your mind. In moments of confusion, if you could just let go of everything, where's the confusion? You see, confusion is an arrangement of your mind and your thoughts and feelings and your emotions. If you just for a minute just be silent, one with nature, and and be quiet, there's no more confusion. It's gone. And then when you start thinking about it again, you'll be confused again. A lot of these priests and people, they say all this stuff to confuse you. Why do you think all these priests and people all are saying different things? How come they're not saying the same thing, and how come it's all the Word of God? How come they're contradicting each other all the time? Every sermon, every priest is contradicting each other. Talking about the contradictions in life. Saying that the contradictions of life are not contradictions. To say that you have love and that God is a universal love that's common to everyone, and then to put yourself in a situation and to label yourself and to use something that governs yourself as something outside of everything, then it's contradicting the idea and the use of love. Love means that you can walk into any religion and be any religion unidentified with the religion because of the word God, shouldn't it? God did not come down from heaven with a pen to write on this dead tree. God came down from heaven and he put all these artifacts on the earth, and he put all this random crap on the earth that we're still finding. He didn't come down and write a few contradictory words on this dead tree. He put it in the stone where it will last, where it's smart, as fire burns paper. Otherwise, there would be one Bible. Where's that one Bible? There's no one Bible. Someone burned it down. God's not going to make a Bible so someone can burn it. Are you crazy? God put all the artifacts on the earth. God put all these mystical things on the earth. God put all these huge statues on the earth. God put all these maids and paths on the earth. These hieroglyphs on the stones. This information in its nature and in the memories of few people. Like if you're gonna go, if you're a priest and you're gonna go on television and waste your time dissing me, then at least do it bluntly. Say my name loudly, clearly, bluntly, honestly. Love thy neighbor. Everyone on the earth is your neighbor. Love thy neighbor. That means your neighbor has to love you too. That's why the Quran says this is the last message and this is the evolved message of that old message. Your neighbor has to love you too. You can't go around loving everyone. You go love the wrong person, he's gonna stab you. I find it interesting how all these religions and everything has nothing to do with nature. It has nothing to do with this green, you know? Does it? You can't just come out saying I'm spiritual and make your own religion nowadays, expecting people to follow you. That's why that stuff was already made there, and people were more susceptible to it. Got swayed in the wrong path, got raped into the wrong path, and now everyone's following that path the same way ants do. And ants just move in that path. Like there might not even be something there and they're just walking there. Might not be anything, and then they're all following that same path, and by the time they get there they realize there's nothing here, and then they scatter away, or they move back the other way into the same, using the same path, and then join another path after they move on their own. And that's the same as kind of like what humans do. They get a belief, move down that belief, and then there's nothing there. So well, there was something there. There was the walk, and the experience was nice. It's joyful. There could have been something there, and the finding is what's most beautiful. Is the very searching and seeking is more beautiful than the actually finding of something, or having that thing once it's there. Because once it's there, then you have to act upon it. You have to do something. The seeking, you don't have to do much. You just gotta go there. It's common sense for everybody to want to walk with the other ants. But I'm saying you're not an ant. There's a story that there's a lion who grew up abandoned. The lions didn't like something about this baby lion. And they abandoned it as a baby. And they left it there to die. Because it wasn't strong enough. But for some reason it just wasn't like that lion wasn't like them. It had an old soul. It had a lot of spirit in it. Those lions, for some reason, And the life arranged some way that they just abandoned that lion. It was born, they were about to govern it, and they got swayed a different way, and they went that way. Because who knows, a bunch of deers were running that way, and they just left that lion for long enough for a bunch of sheep to come by. And the sheep came by to the lion and decided, this is one of us. So the sheep took the lion with them, and then the lion grew up drinking the sheep's milk, and it believed it was a sheep because it never saw a lion in its life. You need eyes to see. They just left that lion there, lying there. So the lion believed it was a sheep for its whole life. It walked like a sheep, talked like a sheep, drank like a sheep, ate like a sheep, did everything the sheep did. It was a sheep, and the sheep saw that lion as a sheep. And then one day, a lion saw that flock of sheep, and he saw the lion there, and this lion saw the other lion, and the other lion looked at the other lion. They looked at each other. The sheep saw a predator, something that was not him. The sheep that was the lion, and then the wild lion outside of the herd of the sheep looked at the lion that is a sheep, and he decided, wow, you guys are dumb. That's a lion, man. So the lion went up to the other lion. All the other sheep ran away when this lion went up to the other lion, the lion was kind of like all my friends ran, but I guess I'm the leader of this sheep pack. But for some reason I'm here talking to this predator, and I don't know why. So then the lion said to him, buddy, walk with me to the lake. I'm gonna show you something that I can't explain to you. I'm gonna show you something that you're not gonna understand. I'm gonna say something that you're gonna walk away if I tell you. You're gonna deny if I tell you. You're not gonna believe if I tell you. But just come with me to the lake. It's only a few yards that way. They're close to the lake. So they walked to the lake, and he said, look into the water and see what you see. Do you look like those sheep, or do you look like me? He said, what? And then he looked into the water and realized right away, instinctively, and he let out a huge roar. Now all these gurus and meditators, the common thread that they speak of is no mind. So when you get into the state of no mind, of meditation, it's like looking into that water for the first time. I'm telling you. But you guys don't want to believe me, do you? But you get it. But you get it. You can only believe until you know. Now, if something instinctively is telling you believe, then do it, try it, then you know it. So from that point on, that lion was a lion once more. It was never a sheep once again. But I guarantee you that lion's not going to be killing his old friends. But the old friends will want to kill him. It is deep within you. My lesson is not what I'm saying. The lesson is my being. Who I am as my being. That's why it's called being, because you are being your being no matter how you try to be. Your being is still there. You're a spiritual being. Deep within you is a spiritual being. Your spiritual self. Your own spiritual master. The only master you can ever have is the master within you. Who you are. You are wise deep within. Everyone has the potentiality of wisdom. Everyone has the potentiality of knowledgeability. You read these books to gain your knowledge in this life. You watch these movies to gain this knowledge. But don't ignore this knowledge. Don't fool yourself thinking you're smart if you ignore this knowledge. Okay? The knowledge of who you really are isn't something you read in books. The knowledge of who you really are is something you experience. When you tap into this thread, then it becomes something you experience. It's what the human potential provides for you anyways. It's the anomaly of all the religion. Out of all the religion, the anomaly is this one point. But you ignore this one point and you look at everything else. You see that's for religion, because that's real. Then you get old to realize that religion is not real. Because what real means what you know. And a jinn is a ghost. A jinn is a demon. That's why Zen Master Osho never said religion. He never said he believes in religion. He believes in religiousness. Real justness. Real beingness. Religiousness. And the common thread throughout religion is religiousness. And if you go to the root of every religion, it's religiousness. To become high, become spiritual, become a spiritual person means to raise your vibrations up and raise your spirits up. When Muslims pray, it's to raise their spirits up. They touch their DMT, their third eye, right on the ground, right on the solid ground, the earth, to connect themselves to the earth. Say Allah. That means everything. Everything. Everything you can think of. That doesn't mean God. That doesn't mean an old man with a beard in the sky. When you say Allah, that means everything you can think of. Everything you can imagine possible. Everything. That means nothing. That means everything. Because you can't imagine everything. Connecting to everything. And just saying, forgive me. You're greater than I am. So show me. And if you're really doing that right, the way those meditations are meant for, then the earth is going to show you. But it's never going to be categorized as anything. It's going to be given for you, not anyone else. Life will show you. This earth will show you. If you like and life this earth. Now, when you pray in Christianity, Catholicism, it's called Catholicism. You're praying to something negative. If you're praying to a fucking dead guy on the cross, and you're praying to something negative, okay? And if you're praying to, this is fundamental. This is basic. Anyone can know that. That's negative. So they want to take negative, flip it as a positive for you. But if you're praying to Jesus' being, then there's something that can help you. God doesn't have any real set form. God just has a being. And all these enlightened people were spiritual beings who had no set form. Jesus did not tell you to praise Him on the cross, ever. That's just something you guys do. And Buddha didn't say make a statue of me and hail it. That's just something you guys do. One person started doing it, other people started following it. The earth has its own being. All the spiritual guides initially are connected to this earth at the beginning, and then they're connected to the universe. This earth is connected to the universe. Human is not. And there's only so much that your mind can take. By the end of the day, your mind becomes weak. Your mind just can't even stand on its own anymore. So, your mind needs to heal. You need to connect with the universe once again. So that's why you go to sleep, then you come back and you're like, ah, fresh. Now I can think again. By the time you go to sleep, your mind's weak again. Your mind's weak. Your being is strong. Your being is always going to stay strong. It's just always going to be there. Your being doesn't take a rest. Everyone wants energy. Everyone wants more energy. Now, let me ask you something. How does something that gives you energy, meat, make you fall asleep? Any person who's connected to their own self and their own body falls asleep after they eat a whole bunch of meat. They go, oh my god. Whew. And then they sleep. That give you more energy? You fall asleep. And I'm saying all this stuff because I know that what I say is there. Once I say it, it's out there. It's the difference between me just being raped by all these people this whole time and then I'm saying something too. People are making all these rationales over everything. You can rationalize anything. As soon as you do something wrong, your mind instinctively rationales so that you can believe it's right, because you don't want to feel like you're wrong. But to be honest means to feel like you're wrong. To commit seppuku. Is it called that? To stab yourself in the hara. Right there. Stab yourself right in the ra! Right there! Ah! Because once you lose your honor, you lose your honesty. Honor means honesty. And then back in those days, what mattered was your honor. So that even though all these guns are coming here, we still have our honor, our real tradition. That you and me can fight man to man. We're not gonna be fucking pussies. We're not gonna be faggots. You and me can fight man to man. We're not gonna go around corners dissing each other, trying to say this and that through subliminal things. We're not gonna assassinate each other. You and me can just fight to the death now. And if we lose our honor, we'll just kill ourselves, be reborn, and do it again. You know how honest you have to be to just kill yourself right then and there? This is how deep conditioning is. You can condition humans in any path, in any form. And people saw this and obviously used it. Japanese people were conditioned to kill themselves at any time. laughing too. Because once you stab yourself, you know you're a legend. Everyone respects you for it. You're a legend. It's like that guy died, but I'm gonna talk shit about that guy, because that guy I respect because he killed himself right in front of me. That guy's a legend. He never lost his honor. So that's why throughout all this media and stuff, you see a lot of these people, you could tell in the past life they're Japanese and they're samurais and they're ninjas and stuff. Kings and whatsoever. And a lot of people, like the gurus and stuff, like you see them. It might just be because they committed seppuku in their past life. Like, I get that. That's why all these Japanese people fell from their roots. And then Zen came around. And now you have Zen there with all these people committing seppuku. See, that's a deep thing. To kill yourself here. To see what's here. And then people say, are you out your mind? What's astral projection? You move out your brain. Are you out your mind? Are you spiritual? Are you out your mind, dude? All these hippies talking about peace. Are you out your mind, dude? No one of these hippies has become enlightened. Talking about peace and there's no enlightened man as a hippie. How can I respect that culture? All those hippies, because all these black people are talking about kill the white people. They're making this and this and this, and all the white people, the innocent white people who are not part of this conditioning, but are unconsciously, or could have been in the past life, we're saying, no, we're cool guys, man, peace, all peace, man, let's peace, no, peace, no fight, 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 and then someone at the top said, yo, shoot gun, boom, those guys, I'm with those guys, and now everyone's still, no fight, no fight, no fight, that's what's good, no fight, no fight. Now even that root is being destroyed. That no fight, no fight, no fight stuff is being replaced with you're faggot. You guys don't even know anything. I don't like when people are like, oh, you don't know this stuff, so you don't act this way. But like, I know this stuff, and it's the highest expression of anything, and this outweighs everything. So if you're not an enlightened being, don't ever look at me like, oh, you don't know this stuff, oh, you're a little kid. You're a fucking idiot. Because then you just watch this whole thing, and you're saying, I don't care. What about it? looking for all this information, then you're gonna die. Information's useless to you. You're just gonna die. You can help share that information, but then if you're doing it as the mind, then the intention was not right. Because the realest intention is what I'm giving you. This is what I'm going to give you. This is what I'm going to continue to give you. And what you're always going to get. And I'm always going to be there. That's just a guy in the forest with nature. That's okay, right? Just a guy in the forest. Like when you see mooji, when you see mooji, the word mooji is from the word in Hindi, mujhe, mujhe. That means to me, to I. Now when you're saying to Mooji, you're saying something to Mooji, you're saying something to him. There's no him inside himself. There is no mind inside himself. He's just being. So he's trying to say, look at my being. This is just the guy that's coming out from the woods, sitting on any chair and saying, look at my being. Do you get it? You don't get it? Well, become my being. You'll get it. Become spiritual. Who is the I that sees? Why do you have two eyes? Which one is the eye that sees? And what's the common thread throughout all this stuff? The battery is low and I gotta go. Sorry. No, I'm gonna go upstairs. Yeah. Let me show you this. PEI dirt shirt. The original PEI dirt shirt. The island's only dirt shirt dyed with dirt. And then it comes with a bag of dirt. Look at that. Look at that natural dye. And I don't see anyone giving a lecture nowadays. I don't see anyone giving a whole full thing. The whole thing. That means till it ends, when it's supposed to end. The only guy I see is that guy. Because when you go to him, he's going to say, just kill yourself. Now everybody else are trying to sway the mind in a certain way. They're trying to be like the marketing that they speak against. they're talking against this type of thing, and then they're doing that type of thing. That's not what a spiritual guide is. You're not guiding them in the right way. You're not guiding them anywhere. You're just saying do whatever you want to do. Spiritual guide is finding the real seekers and saying, because a lot of times in life you just need, you're on the bridge of doing something, you just need someone to say, do it. Just do it. And then you'll do it. You need that friend. That's why when the Buddha said, I will come back as the friend. Because he's your friend. You need your friend to say, go ahead. Go for it. You're here for a reason. You're not just here. When the Buddha says the friend, he means screw these masters. Because he knew that this shit's going to be misconstrued. Because this guy, he's an original. An original doesn't do it the same as everyone else. How many expressions are there if all these gurus are saying the exact same shit in the exact same way, just in a different metaphor? There's more there than just saying that. Don't you ever argue about that dumb shit. Did you ever try to make a point about that dumb shit? I'm with the universe. I don't know about you guys. I represent the whole universe. That means if aliens are watching this, then I'm speaking to the aliens too. And I'm speaking to the spirits too. And I'm speaking to people in other languages too. Because someone watches my video compared to someone else's video, and we're speaking the same language, they're gonna get me. They're gonna understand what I'm saying, not you guys. It's the being that counts. The universe. Come on. Now, if I have to be the master of masters, there has to be one. And I don't see any. You guys killed Osho. You killed Zen Master Osho. And then there was no one. So now there's no master of masters. There's no one to govern this. There's no Vishnu to govern this. So then you need someone like Shiva to come around and destroy all of it so that someone like Brahma can come around and build it. Because it's all misconstrued. Even the media is against it. You know, I've never met someone where I just see that person and that I just say that person's ancient. Where I just look at that person and I can tell that person's ancient. The only time that happened for me was when I saw Zen Master Osho for the first time. And you might wonder, why was that guy speaking so slowly? Why was he pausing all the time? Why did he die a month after I was born? Why did he change his name a month after I was born? Why did he say, okay, now it's a good time to go? Why did his enlightened body just leave this life? Why was that destined? No one wants that type of thing around. You guys want to watch the entertainment. I'm honestly saying there's not always going to be a master of masters on this life. But in this life, I'm the master of masters. I'm a master of masters. To say that there is no masters. All that stuff came from India. And the only word that we have is master. The real word is different. Spiritual teacher. You can be a spiritual teacher. All these people are just spiritual teachers. But they're not a master spiritual teacher. To be even governing other masters. A master is negative. A master means a leash, animal. You can think of it that way if you're an animal. Or you can laugh at its face and be a master of masters. You can laugh at all that and be a master of masters. And everyone inside them has a master. At some point in time in your enlightenment, you're going to want to say something to someone. It's the difference between just saying the same thing everyone's saying. You become enlightened so you can express your being, your potential full being. I don't believe that this whole world is made of daisies. I gotta take each one of these guys to the lake and so like look at that man, you're a jaguar. Ah, why are you just because you guys want to make money and you want to be filled and be still inside of this system. And then if you think being a master means speaking a certain way, it's your theory. Real theory is there's no theory. There's just nothing. So I'm wearing black, the walls are black, we're in a black room, what can I tell you? Looking at each other in our black iris.
It's just the word master is misconstrued. I'm your spiritual guide. Hi. And if I'm not your spiritual guide, then you're looking at this for information, but I'm still your spiritual guide because you're going to move somewhere else, guy. You're going to look and be swayed into some other direction, guy. Girl is world. And I'm not speaking to the whole world when I say guy. Girl. The chosen few will get it. All these these duality people and all these craps, they're all saying the same thing. Mooji is the master of all of them. Have you noticed that? Mooji is the master of all of them. They're all saying the same thing, but you can't get it across to these people. It's easy. Why are you wasting your time talking to these people, and why are these people giving you money? So they can feel special? Or is it because there is a potentiality in them? So that with these potentiality of these people, they're using that against you to say, if you say the wrong thing, I'm not going to go into my potentiality. Real master just says, fuck your potentiality, this is how it is. You know, because how are you a master? How can you call yourself a master of this guy? This guy's the master of you. If you're trying to say things to sway yourself around people's potentiality. The real seekers don't have that type of potentiality. The real seekers are going to get your message no matter what. The real seekers are your people. And this is not a day and age where it's right to do that. Buddha did that. Jesus did that. You can't do that nowadays. You shouldn't do that nowadays. If you haven't read all 100,000 books like Zen Master Osho, then don't even try. Don't even insult him. Don't insult the spiritual guides of the past. Don't make any rationales about anything. Don't rationalize anything. Don't rationalize yourself. If you're compelled to do something and you just happen to be doing something, and there's no need for any rationale for anything. Why are you guys always rationalizing things? And then why are you guys saying things to sway other people's fortunes? You know? There's something inside you that just wants to say something to somebody. But you hold it back, you repress yourself, you contradict yourself. Then how are you a master? That means you're a master of your mind, you're a master of your soul, you're a master of your intellect, you're a master of the universe, then you're a master. Because the only way a master can exist as the word master, he's a master. Otherwise else, don't bother. You're wearing these clothes that you grew up with, using the same name that you grew up with, wearing clothes that don't look good on you, that don't match you well, that don't suit your purpose for what you're doing. Don't do it. You can have all your type of clothes though. Then you get a master of the universe who's just wearing a black robe, and that guy has a better being than you guys. He's your master, but as a master, are you going to be honest as a master to say that's my master? When one person speaks and everyone listens, who's going to be the one to speak and who's going to be the people to listen? Honestly, on this earth, amongst the masters, the gurus, it's the guy with the black robe who understands the universe, the teaching of the universe. It means nothing. It means, right? And once you meet another enlightened being, then you know that the teaching between two enlightened people is just nothing. Blackness. It's just nothing. There's nothing. So what? Zen Master Osho said a bunch of stuff that was true that goes against a higher truth, so that you could follow him and love him, because he read books and he knew how to sway people in a different way. That's why he called himself God. And make fun of all you people calling yourself God, trying to act as a false God. I just find it mind-boggling how everyone's saying the same exact thing in the same exact way. You're not two same species of the same fruit tree. As an enlightened person, you're your own species. And then you want to blend in and sneak in. You think you're being damn sneaky. No one gives a crap. Why are you even bothering trying to be sneaky? That's what little mice do. To be honest as an enlightened being, that means the first thing you know is nature. Now when you connect to nature, you don't care about all this society stuff. It's implied in nature. Nah, that's you. Real people with the earth. Now, watching and actually meeting a real group means giving up your ego. Means letting go of your ego in front of something worth giving up your ego in front of. So you need eyes to see. Mahavir walked around naked and he was an enlightened being. But you need eyes to see. Like, it doesn't make sense. You're not going to respect me that I'm naked here in front of you. You're not going to respect me. But you need eyes to see. And the people with eyes to see are going to be able to see it and give up their ego. Now I see all these people talking in these satsangs and whatever, and they don't give their ego up. That's why whoever that master was created the idea that you bow in front of my feet. You give up your ego. Now a lot of masters and stuff might try to sway you in a certain way to trick you to eventually give up your ego. But what is a master going to say to another master? There's nothing. So now with that meeting there, what is one master going to say to a certain group of people, and then what is this master going to say to a certain group of people? Now there's one guy who's going to say what everybody else says, what everybody else gets, what's been done before. And they're not getting mass followings over it, they're just getting a little bit famous and getting enough money to move by. And then there's the other guy who just says the real stuff that this master can respect, this master can respect, and this master is not going to get that respect the same as this guy. Now everybody's being this guy. So now how can I call you all you guys masters? Look, any person can just punch someone. Then the master's gonna punch you. That's what a master is. Chill out, chill out. Don't be blinded by the English language, and don't be identified with the English language and stuck with the English language, because that's what's if that's what slaved you, then you're being slaved by it. If you don't judge between words, then what is there? You can use any language consciously just as a language. If you just speak, it's common sense. But it's not common anymore. It's uncommon now. Everyone wants to be all, there's more to this language. No. You speak to get something words across. If you can use the right words to get the right emotions and the exact definition of what you're trying to say across, then there's no difference. The only difference is saying that water is pani and you drink it and it's pani. It's pani. It's happy, it's good for you, it's all great. Then you're getting water. What's there? Water. It's bland. Water. Even the feeling of it is wrong. The feeling of the word is wrong. But I'm still getting the same thing across. Oh, it's water. I'm drinking water. But it's up here that will change what's down here. It's what's up here that's going to change the experience of what's there. Not It's not depending on what's there. A glass of water is always a glass of water. It doesn't change. The earth is in fear. The earth is scared of us. The earth is scared of what we're doing. We say we govern all these animals in your subconscious, in unconscious, in your conscious. You're saying I govern this whole planet. So then you're thinking of the planet as an animal, and you think you govern the planet. It's because you govern the animals. You don't govern the planet governs you. The planet sends a hurricane to you. The planet sends tornado to you. You just kill things on it. You're not going to kill the whole thing. The earth governs you. We're treating the earth badly. In all of history of humanity, we are treating the earth worse than any of our ancestors. And there's no one here to say anything. There's people saying the same thing. Oh, non-duality. Who is this eye that looks at the mind? Meat, you can look at meat as like a drug. A drug that makes you go wild and crazy. Yeah, it's a mutant form of food. The earth is in pain right now. I gotta be speaking. You don't really even need knowledge. You just survive and you live and you enjoy yourself. You reproduce. This is how it was supposed to be initially. Reproduce, enjoy yourself, and then you get lost in the wonder and beauty of it. Now, when you're making all these TV and movie stuff, you're just destroying the wonder and the beauty of it. For a kid, it's different. Nowadays, it's gone. You can see the future then. How do you want to see yourself in the future? As a whole, loving, caring, strong, exuberant, confident, dangerous, powerful person? How do you really do it? You meditate. You don't do self-help. You don't reaffirm yourself with your thoughts. You meditate, you get grounded, you become one with the nature, which is your friend. Nature is your friend. No body wants to get attacked by a wolf, though. So your real friend is not perfect. But it's the trees that are perfect, and the air that's perfect, and the circumstance for you that's perfect because when you tap into it, then it is perfect. That moment is perfect. Maybe extraneous things happen, but that's just so that you have a life. And so that there's people that said they killed wolves. And as like a guideline to show you what not to do. What's our enemy in the whole forest? Only the things that poison us, only the things that bite us, or kill us, scratch us. The bugs, the parasites. And then what are we doing in every movie? Killing, torturing, parasites, bacteria. Come on, guys, that's our enemy, and we're making it seem like our friends. You have the potential inside of you to go to a wolf. You have the potential, though, to go to a wolf and just hug it. If your intention's right, people walk up to lions and just hug them because they were a lion in their past life. You have the potential for it, but if your intention's not right, then it's not going to go through. If you're thinking all this stuff while trying to hug a lion, the lion will kill you. If you're thinking, your mind's going to think all this stuff, the lion's going to pick up on it, sense it, and just attack you. You have no thoughts and you go to hug a lion, you probably could. Now you see a wolf, when you see a wolf, you're full of all this meat in the forest, so you're already not natural, and the wolf is going to attack you. Now, if you're natural, let's say you came from the south of Mexico, some Mayan guy who doesn't eat meat, came and just eats all natural stuff, came up to Canada for a visit, happened to be in the woods, saw a wolf. That Mayan guy could probably walk right up to the wolf. In the daytime, mind you. In the nighttime, the wolf can't even see you. In the nighttime, the only reason you have fear is because of animals in the nighttime. And so it's something like kind of like an entertainment that was put there for us so that we can have a life. Or the sense of having a life. Well, the TV is just a sense of having a life, not really having a life. But you can gain information and knowledge from movies and stuff. The movies and the teacher is probably better than a teacher nowadays. TV can teach you more than you do in school and high school. It's a better teacher than the teacher in front of you. Like documentary programs and stuff like that. It's set up and it's better as better teachers than the teachers in your school or and the teachers in your high school or the teachers in your college. You can learn more from just movies and stuff. We should at least save the Earth so that the Earth is not afraid anymore. But the Earth knows you kill an animal's connected to the Earth. When you kill that animal, killing part of the Earth. The Earth would rather that animal live. Then the wolf is and that stuff are meant to govern those animals and stuff so that they don't become overpopulated. And then we're supposed to catch the wolf and become his friend because the wolf is more intelligent than the other thing. The wolf has the potentiality to become your friend. But we hunt them. Just as we have the potentiality to eat meat, we have the potentiality for wolves to be our friends, bears to be our friends. There's people that hug bears and wolves. There's people who have wolves that are just like dogs. There's people who hug bears with the right intention, and they're just their friend. But we hunt them when there's no even. We're just creating an unbalance inside that nature. That's what the earth is scared. The earth can sense something's wrong. But even in that something wrong, 1% of it could be something right. Like here, something's right here. When it's your time to go, you'll go. When it's time to stay, don't waste your time trying to convince people to, or to sway people to what? Just tell them. They'll know. The people that are actually going to go through that are going to know. Now, With Zen Master Osho, he won't even let you ask the question out loud. He has Melissa read the question for him, and even just by the words you pick in a letter, he could tell what you're really saying. And in your ego is this subtle saying of something. You're saying something other than that because you're trying to give compliment or whatever. What you're really saying is something else. So now if you ask a question out loud, this guy's not even gonna probably respect your question at all. He's just gonna attack your ego right away. And when Melissa reads the question, the first thing he does is attack the ego inside the question. So with the question, it has less ego in it, and it's read in an unegoistic way, so it can be a clear, clean, beautiful discussion rather than a chaotic, energetic imbalance. Where that person that's you're talking to at any point in time saying, "I don't care." And when he's sitting down and the question's read, then there's no time that he can say, "I don't care," because he's hasn't had to do anything or say anything or speak anything. So the mind doesn't have to go into a negative downward spiral. It can just go upward from there and take off from there. That's why I know that is just existence speaking to itself, not existence speaking to its lowest form. When I speak to you, not to your beliefs that are only lies that I know are not. If something you say, if something you believe is not something you know, then that's what's gonna get to me. That's what's gonna get to Zen Master Osho. That's what's gonna get to all to real masters. Bodhidarma. Real masters. No, I don't even think you're gay at all for watching these videos unless you're masturbating to them. You know what existence cares about most? Enlightened people. The earth cares about enlightened people. The universe cares about enlightened people. If you're the mind, to the universe, you're just another person. To aliens, you're just another person. To spirits, you're just another person. To demons, you're just another person. To high elites, you're just another person. And you are just another person. Don't fool yourself. The only reason you can say that I'm not just another person is because deep down inside of you, you're a spiritual being. You have a master inside of you that can stand up for itself, say, no. The earth is afraid, people. It's time that we wake up. Come on. People say wake up all the time. Everybody's saying wake up and no one's waking up. But there's a few people that didn't fall asleep. A lot of these gurus and stuff, I look at them and I say, you guys don't even look good. The stuff you guys are wearing, you don't even look good in it. You're supposed to be fucking creative and artistic, and you guys don't even look good. My hair's just growing through, that's why I look so good. If you look at the masters in the past, oh god, those guys are cool. Come on. We're supposed to progress. We're not progressing at all. Why do you think Zen Master Osho had to read all those 100,000 books? It's because of you guys. Because he spent his whole life looking for enlightened people and he couldn't. Until he met some guy that was just mumbling gibberish. He said, that this guy's enlightened. This is just a guy mumbling gibberish. He's not some guy saying he's a spiritual guru, he's just mumbling gibberish. That's what a real master is. Mumbling gibberish. But you need eyes to see. Come on, you guys. You can take drugs and feel close to this and like it's the real thing, but it's not the real thing. Take this to heart, okay? Don't just take it like it's another thing. This is why when I say something, it's not just another thing. It's not normal. You think silence is boring and weird. You don't even know. Trying to find a good time to end this. We have the potential to save the world, but we're not gonna. We are not gonna. I'm just with you guys. I'm just another guy on the street, okay? Thank you. Thanks.